What is human design? Besides being an incredible life-changing tool, it is essentially the science that explains your aura, right? Your unique energetic blueprint. So therefore, it is not a belief, it is not a personality test, it is a system that draws on ancient and modern sciences, including the I Ching, the Kabbalah, astrology, the chakra system, and quantum physics, to make up your unique energetic blueprint. Which is why a lot of people will refer to this system as being like a manual for your soul, right? How you were designed to show up in the world and interact and exchange energy with the world around you. It tells us so much about your purpose and what you came here to do, which is why I am absolutely obsessed with this tool. And I am sure you will become obsessed with it as well. And this is the beautiful thing about human design as well. It is an experiment, right? And it's not something that, you're handed this manual and, you're good to go, right? It is essentially a learning experience, an experiment, and it really does speak for itself. So what I invite most people to do who are new to human design is just give it a go, right? Learn as much as you possibly can about your energetic blueprint, your human design, and then give it a go and see how your life starts to transform. Maybe it won't, and then you can always go back to where you are now. Just a little bit of history on how human design came into the world, which was in 1987 by a man named Ra Uru Hu. And he received this information, he had this download come to him in 1987 in Ibiza, which, side note, is one of my favorite places in the world. It is such a beautiful spiritual place. But he had this download of this system and the information was coming to him over days. And even he was like, what the heck is this? And it took him years to really figure out, okay, what this meant and what this could do and how it could change people's lives. And what he discovered is that this energetic blueprint tells us so much about who you came into this world to be. But throughout the course of our life, we are so programmed and conditioned perhaps to be someone very different to that. And just to give you a personal example, I am a 5/1 splenic projector, but for years, pretty much my whole life, I had the belief that in order to be successful, particularly in career, I would have to work and work and work and hustle and, grind this, 8-hour workday and beyond, which for a projector is very, very much not energetically correct. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Technically, we're only supposed to, exert energy into the world for about, half a day. So this mentality of showing up and working and hustling and grinding is not energetically correct for my aura. But for our generators, that is energetically correct, right? When they are following their desires and doing things that light them up, they can go and go and go because they have this beautiful defined sacral center, which actually operates like an energy generator. So when they're doing things that light them up, this generator is generating more and more beautiful, sparkly energy. And our generators make up about 70% of the population. So this construct of this 8-hour workday and this hustle and grind mentality, which, feeds out into our society, was formed by generators. So it's no wonder that, we have this belief that we are meant to work an 8-hour workday or beyond, and we can just go and go and go and, generate more energy. Whereas for our projectors and our manifestors and our reflectors, that is not energetically correct because they do not have a defined sacral center. And so therefore it's important for them to retreat and cleanse their open sacral center. And I will be explaining so much more about defined and undefined centers in other videos. But just going back to what human design actually is and how it can change your life, it is essentially a self-awareness tool, right? A self-growth tool, which when used correctly, when you are aware of how your energy works, then you can start to fulfill so much potential in your life. You create so much more ease and flow in your energy. It will completely transform how you socialize, how you, show up in relationships, how you show up in your career life, in your business. And that is why I invite everyone just to give it a go and see how it changes your life. But I can almost guarantee it is going to amplify your confidence and flow and ease in your life. And as a result, you are going to feel less stressed, less friction. You're going to notice that more and more synchronicities start to flow to you. You become a magnet because You are showing up as your most authentic self, right? Who your soul intended to be. It has helped me so much on my own personal development journey. You know, as I just explained before, I used to think that I had to show up like a generator. And as a result, I would end up burning out. Like, sure, I could go and do that for some time, but I felt so much friction. I felt resentment, right? Which is the not self theme of the projector. And your not self theme is a really beautiful indicator of when you are not in alignment. So for the projector, that is bitterness, right? So if you are a projector energy type and you're feeling bitterness in your life, in your job, in your relationships, it's a really good indicator that you are not using your energy correctly, and therefore it's making you resentful. For our generators, the not self theme is frustration. So again, that's a really powerful indicator of when you are not in alignment, when you're not using your energy correctly. For our manifestors, it's anger. And learning this has honestly changed how I do everything in my life. And this is why I consider human design to be one of the most powerful personal development tools there is out there. I have been on this personal development journey for many years. I have studied neuro-linguistic programming and hypnotherapy, also incredibly powerful tools because they dive into the subconscious mind. But human design, I absolutely love because it gives us this beautiful foundation, this beautiful launching pad. So we can use your human design as this beautiful foundation, this beautiful starting point, right? Who you authentically are, your true self. And then we can start to rewire, decondition anything that may not be in alignment with that. And that's when I bring in NLP and hypnotherapy to get your beliefs and your values and your behavioral patterns on board with who you authentically are, and help you to let go of anything that isn't in alignment with that. Anything that you have picked up throughout the course of your life, from your parents, from school, from society, that has led you away from your true self. So for all those reasons just mentioned, that is why I believe every single person on this planet should learn as much as they possibly can about their unique human design, their unique energetic blueprint, and just try it on. See how life starts to shift and transform around you. But where should you start? Okay, because obviously, you know, if you've ever pulled up your human design chart, and I recommend, I'll pop a link in the description box below for where you can get your human design chart. All you need is your birth date, your birth time, and location. And you will receive your body graph, and you'll probably take one look at it and be like, what the heck is this sorcery, right? But a really great place to start, in fact, step number one, is to learn about your energy type, right? So there's 4 energy types. We have our generators, which, as I mentioned before, make up about 70% of the population. We then have our projectors, which make up about 20% of the population. We have our manifestors, who make up about 8 to 10% of the population. And then we have our reflectors, who are the rarest of the types and make up about 1 to 2% of the population. But your energy type is essentially the first entry point into learning about your human design, almost like your star sign, right? And it can tell you so much, even just at that basic level of how you are designed to show up and exchange and interact your energy with the world. So starting with our generators, and also under generator comes manifesting generator, as I said, make up about 70% of the population, and is where this whole construct of the hustle and grind mentality came from, because for them, they are the life force energy of the population. So that is energetically correct for them. And what makes them a generator is that they have this defined sacral center. So it's like their gut center. It is defined. And what I mean by defined is it's fixed in energy. They are able to generate energy in that center of their energetic blueprint. So for them, it is so important for them to be following things that light them up, following their desires, right? Because that is going to help them to generate this more and more energy, magnetic, sparkly energy. When they are in alignment and doing things that they absolutely adore, they become completely magnetic. And something that I like to recommend for our generators, because with the defined sacral, to be honest, it's not very good at making open-ended decisions. So our generators, the sacral center, much prefers is it this or is it that? So what I recommend for our generators when it comes to manifesting and creating and calling things into your life is to plant the seed, right? Put it out there to the universe. What is it that you are wanting to call in? Let's say, for example, it's a new bikini, right? I need to go bikini shopping at the moment, so that is what is on my mind. But let's say you want a new bikini. You go to put it out there to the universe. I want a new bikini. I want to feel so confident. I want to feel amazing. So put it out there to the universe, and then you go to the department store and imagine yourself in the change room, and then the universe starts to present to you all of these different bikinis, right? It brings them into the change room, and all you have to do is try them on. So you're trying on these bikinis, and you're seeing how you feel in them, seeing how they fit. Does it make you feel amazing? Is it bringing you joy? Do you just want to like rock the shit out of this bikini? All you need to do is essentially try on all these different bikinis and then tune into your gut, your sacral center, and ask it, is it this bikini or is it this bikini, right? And that is how you can make any decisions in life. So whether it be relationships, career, even down to what you want for breakfast, it's like, okay, do I want muesli or do I want toast? And just really getting familiar with tuning into your sacral, into your gut center to make decisions, because that is how you make the most aligned decisions, by tuning into your sacral center. And when you find the thing that is the right fit for you and you are making decisions from that place, I promise you are going to generate more and more of this magnetic sparkly energy, and more things that are meant for you are going to come into your space. We then have our projectors, right? And I myself am a projector. Woo, go projectors. Also, just quick side note, no energy type is better than the other, right? All of these energy types serve a purpose. I always like to look at it as if, so even though you'll fit into one of these 5 energy types, your energetic blueprint is completely unique to you, right? Because there's so many other elements to your energetic blueprint. There's other centers, energy centers. There's also what we call gates and channels, which essentially tell us about your unique gifts and talents and skills and processes. It is such an intricate system, which is another reason why I absolutely love human design, because it tells us so much about who you are. And based on my experience and readings I have done, it is almost always freaking accurate. I like to look at it as if we all came here with a unique purpose, but we are all here to work together as a collective. And you can almost imagine it as if it's like a jigsaw puzzle, and we all fit together beautifully like little pieces of this puzzle to make up this big, massive, amazing collective. So for example, our generators who have the defined sacral, myself as a projector, and our projectors and our manifestors and our reflectors who don't have that sacral center defined, can really draw on that sacral energy from our generators and our manifesting generators and borrow some of that energy, right? So let's say I, as a projector with an open sacral, I'm around a generator, a manifesting generator who is doing something that they love, I can, and this is all very subconscious, right? It's not something that you think about logically. You may notice, in fact, how your energy feels different around different people. It's probably because they have a different energy type, or you're exchanging energy in some kind of way, borrowing energy perhaps, learning, picking up wisdom from their energy. And you don't even realize it's happening. But let's say I'm around a generator, a manifesting generator who is doing something that they love. My projector open sacral center is going to absolutely love that, because I get to sort of feed off of that and use that and borrow that for a second. But keyword is borrowed. At the end of the day, I do need to retreat and cleanse that aura from my center, because it's not mine. Sure, I can use that energy to get some tasks done and, create and whatever it may be that I have and want to do. I can borrow that energy for a bit, but then I really need to retreat and cleanse that energy out of my space, and keep in mind that it is borrowed. But our projectors, who make up about 20% of the population, and just for a moment, if you can imagine, going back to this idea of the collective and all working together, if you can imagine we are, a massive animal kingdom, right? And we've got our lions and our tigers and our birds and our monkeys and all of these incredible animals in this kingdom. If you can imagine the projectors as being like these birds, right, up in the tree, they are here to be a guide. They can see things. They can see a more efficient way of doing things. And they're these like birds up in the tree looking down on the kingdom and seeing how, they're all working together, and maybe they're not always doing things the most efficient way. The projector up in the tree can see that and then, show guidance, guide the rest of the kingdom to more efficient ways of doing things. So the projector energy is incredibly powerful for like reading people, seeing deep into people, and just, kind of intuitively knowing things, right? It's very potent and powerful. But what is so important for the projector's strategy is to wait for the invitation. And so it's so important for the projector not to just swoop down from the tree and start telling all of our generators and our manifestors more efficient ways to do things, because that is going to be very repelling, because the projector aura is very focused and penetrating. It is intense. People can pick up on that. Again, all intuitively, subconsciously, energetically. It's not something that we are always consciously aware of. But again, how do you feel in other people's presence, in their energy? So it's really important for projectors, even though they can, see more efficient ways of doing things, not to just swoop down and start telling everyone what to do, but to wait for that invitation. And how they wait for that invitation is to be recognized. So again, intuitively, if you're having a conversation with someone and you're a projector, and you can sense that, they're interested in what you have to say, or some, a perspective that you have, or some advice, and you can just sort of energetically and intuitively read that you are being recognized, there is an invitation, right? That is an opportunity for you to share your wisdom and perhaps those more efficient ways of doing things. And I know, trust me, I know, as a projector, especially when we can see things, we just want to blurt it out and share our wisdom, but that is not what we are here to do, right? We are here to learn. Perhaps part of our purpose is to learn how to wait for the invitation. And because, we don't have this defined energy center in our sacral, we can't just be sort of leaking our energy here and there. It's much better for us to wait for that invitation and then share when we are invited to. And I promise, in those moments, it is going to land like absolute freaking gold. There will be so much value in what you have to say. And as a result, you are going to be seen by the person receiving your wisdom. We then have our manifestors, who make up about 8 to 10% of the population. Historically, they have been the monarchs of the world. They are natural born leaders, right? And really the manifesting energy, it's very fast, like when it comes to manifesting things into existence, but also it's very influential. And, people again can just intuitively pick up on that, and they want to know what the manifestor is doing, and they probably want to follow along. And the strategy of the manifestor is to inform. So because this energy is so fast, often the manifestor will receive these downloads, these urges to go and do something, and it's their strategy is to then speak that out loud to inform people of what they want to do, to lead and give people an opportunity to jump on board that train with them. Now, it's really important for our manifestors to remember as well that maybe that is not the train for everybody to jump on, but if it is someone's train, then they will jump on it, right? All you have to do is just receive those urges, let them come through, and then speak into existence to inform people of what you're doing. And I guarantee the right people will jump on board that train with you. Our manifestors really are here to be these trailblazers, right? To rally people, to create movements. And as a manifestor, how you know if, you have a mission or a movement to create is by receiving those urges, right? Being open to, these downloads of these little intuitive nuggets to do something. And it's, energetically correct for you to follow those. And again, like I said, to inform, and the right people will come along with you. There's also no need for you to wait for an invitation or a collaboration, right? You are here to receive the urge, and you are here to create the movement. And then we have our reflectors, who make up about 1 to 2% of the population. They are extremely rare. They are known as these lunar beings. And what makes them a reflector is that all of the centers, so those shapes and lines that you can see in your body graph, are completely open. They will be white, so therefore they're not really fixed in any of their energy. They are open beings, and that is why they are sometimes known as the chameleons of the population, because what they will do is whoever they are around, they will pick up on that energy in their open centers, and then they will amplify it, right? To really teach other people about what their energy is doing. And that is why I believe we are, working together like puzzle pieces. Because, if someone has a defined center and perhaps you don't, there's a really good chance when you're around them, you are picking up on that energy in that center where you are open. And then you are going to amplify it and reflect it back to them so that they can make sense of it. And in fact, I will just drop you an incredible little nugget, which I will talk about more in another video. But if you have, so the solar plexus, right, is an energy center. If you just hover over your body graph, you will be able to see where the solar plexus is. But the solar plexus is an energy center which governs our emotions. And about 50% of the population are known as emotionals and 50% are known as non-emotionals. What's funny about the non-emotionals, and what makes you a non-emotional, is if you have that center open, if it's white, if there's no color or definition in it, you are a non-emotional. But what's funny about this term is that it has nothing to do with being not emotional. In fact, it may be the very opposite, because what is happening if you are open in that center, if you're a non-emotional, and you're around someone with a defined solar plexus who is an emotional, then there's a really good chance that you're picking up on their feelings, their emotions, and you are taking it from, like, let's say they're feeling a 2 out of 10 angry, and you're picking up on that emotion and amplifying it. It could be like, feel like a 10 out of 10 angry for you, and you are then amplifying it and reflecting it back to them in order for them to be able to make sense of and understand their emotions. So I like to use that as an example because I think it's such a powerful way of describing how we can pick up on other people's energy and then reflect it back to them, how we're working together, right? See how it is a dance. But as I mentioned before, each of the energy types have their own strategies. And then beyond that, everyone has a different authority as well. And really your strategy and your authority is here to help you make the most aligned decisions for you. Not using our logical mind, which is so much of what we've been trained to do throughout the course of our life. But often our logical mind takes us away from doing the things that we truly desire, right, on a soul level. So that is why it's, again, so important to learn about what your energy type is all about and what your strategy and your authority is, so that you can start to make decisions from that place. For example, our generators and manifesting generators with their defined sacral, the gut, that is how they make decisions. The buck stops with the gut. Even if they have an emotional authority, they always have to come back to their gut, their sacral, in order to make the most aligned decisions for them. If you are a splenic projector, right, then your spleen is essentially how best you make decisions, all on instincts, right? It's like this sixth sense. It's very quick, and it will only speak to you once as well, which is why it's so important to learn that and to really get good at mastering that. And in fact, hot little tip, how to get good at making decisions from your authority in order to make the most aligned decisions for you is to use your authority in every single decision you make in your life, from the smallest decisions to the biggest decisions. So, let's say in the morning, it's like, do I want tea or coffee? Boom. What if you're a splenic projector? What is that instinctual decision? Also, fun fact about the spleen is because it will only speak to you once if you missed it, or you try and go against it, which honestly, I have had such a hard time learning about this in my life. When you have that instinctual knowing, but then your logical mind tells you to do something else and you go down that path and you realize it gets you into trouble or it didn't work out and you're like, shit, I should have really listened to my instincts, what they told me originally. But yeah, it's so important for you to master your authority, use it, practice it. What you practice becomes a skill. So when you make every single decision from your authority, you will, over time, become really good at it and it will just become natural. That is why human design is this beautiful roadmap, this beautiful foundation, this starting point for telling us who you truly are, okay? And then we can start to implement the steps to decondition and let go of anything that isn't in alignment with that and help you to get back to that place. your purpose, your soul's purpose. And then I believe the rest is just a byproduct of that, right? Like the career, the relationships, the lifestyle, all of that will just start to naturally fall into place when you are showing up as your most authentic self. And also something else that I'd recommend is that you practice being this version of yourself in every single situation in your life. So it's not that you are this person with your friends and then this person at work. No, start to practice being this version of you in every area of your life, and it's just going to become inevitable. But that really is just a snapshot of human design and how it can change your life. But it's really important that you learn about your energy type, your strategy, your authority, and then also your gates and channels and how all of your other energy centers work to really bring this whole beautiful system together. And also just to recap that you don't have to take my word for it. All I suggest is that perhaps you give it a go and just see how your life starts to transform. Does it become easier? Do you feel difference? Are you noticing more and more synchronicities coming into your life? Give it a go. Like I say to my clients all the time, you can always go back to where you are now. You know that exists. So why not try something else and see if life just becomes a whole lot better? So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for doing this for you and the world, and to really help me, spread this knowledge and awareness. Please like and subscribe to my channel. It really helps reach more and more people. I certainly believe that this information should be accessible to every person in the world. I believe that everybody should learn about their human design because it really can be so incredibly empowering. So please be sure to like and subscribe and share this video with a friend who might also benefit. Have a wonderful day.